nothing good comes from strikeouts.
Totally right.
You got to put the ball in play, and things can happen if you put the ball in play.
I mean, Cole and Verlander are strikeout pitchers. They both struck out over 300 batters in the regular season, but the Nationals have put the ball in play and limited the strikeouts. And the Astros didn't make plays. They had some defensive breakdowns in the last 3 innings. And honestly, guys, we were kind of talking off the air. Watching that 7th inning was kind of the same inning we've seen go against the Nationals in previous division series losses. I mean, how much does that inning remind you of Game 5 against the Cubs? But this year, those breaks have gone the Nationals' way. The ball just off a glove or a swinging, dribbling hit and a throwing error. We have seen that time and time again. But time and time again this postseason, the breaks are going the Nationals' way.
Yeah, this team is just different. They just are, and we've sensed it ever since the turnaround, right, with all the comebacks, the resiliency. I mean, we've said it all a million times. But I really thought that the layoff, like all other teams, would affect them, and just no hint of any rustiness or anything. I'm amazed at how they've just hit the ground running against 2 just unbelievable pitchers, too.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the series, they've beaten 2 20-game winners, and they're up 2-0 in the series. So, I mean, take a deep breath on that. That's pretty impressive. But I heard Doolittle say something interesting after Game 1, talking about that layoff. And everyone, kind of said, if the Nationals, they win in 4, now they have to deal with a week off.
Yeah.
It's all how you look at it. I think this team looked at it as a positive, and they say, hey, we're an older team. We're going to use this to our benefit.
Right.
We need the rest. We don't want to have to grind out a 7-game NLCS and just turn around a day later and play the Astros in the World Series. So to me, it's all how you approach it. And they approached it as a and guys got off their legs a little bit. Pitchers got to rest. And obviously they were able to line up the starting pitching the way they wanted for this series.
Yeah, and Doolittle knows this better than anybody, right, with all he had to deal with there that last month and a half or so. I mean, the Nats deserve so much credit for how they handled him and kind of got him back together, because the way he was going, I didn't think there was a chance he'd be able to pitch in high-leverage situations the rest of the season, and they just totally got him back to where he needs to be.
Yeah, but they needed it. I mean, there was no way they're going to get to this point without having more than one. Hudson can't be the only guy you rely on in the bullpen. You can't use starting pitchers every night. And I credit Paul Menhart. They were really working on his leg kick.
Yeah.
It kind of goes back to the whole Joe Madden toe tap thing in May, and his mechanics were a little bit off. If you notice his delivery, that's Sean Doolittle when he's on, because the hitter thinks the ball is going to sink, and it almost has the rising effect, and you get a lot of guys swinging underneath the pitch or popping it up.
So the Astros fans are stunned. You could see it in their faces last night, but the players have to be even more stunned because they have not seen this. They have not seen Cole and Verlander lose back-to-back games at home. It just doesn't happen. Think that make this a series, or do you think that the Nats, based on how they are playing, Houston's deflated, they're coming back home. Game 5 will be max in a closeout situation, possibly. Do you think this is going back to Houston?
I don't. But, again, this team is better than the Cardinals. I think I was on your show after they took the first 2, from St. Louis in St. Louis. I said, well, you have to win Game 3 just to prevent the other team from getting any sort of hint that they're back in the series. I mean, the Astros won 107 games, and they're legitimately I think anything you throw in a they seem to just be able to ignore that. Because I look at the Game 3 pitching matchup, and of the 3 starting pitchers, the big 3 that they have, Zach Greinke, in a way, scares you a little bit more. He's been very tough on the Nationals in his career. 6-1, 1.27 ERA. This year he took a no-hitter into the 7th inning at Nationals Park when he was with Arizona. Would have had a complete game if not for a rain delay in the 8th inning. But you know what? I don't care. I think to me, the way this team's playing, you throw those numbers in the past history out just as to how well they're playing. So, if Game 3 goes Houston's way, then they're feeling good about getting the series back to Houston. But with the way Anibal Sanchez has pitched, I think the Nationals are confident he can go out and give them another good game as they did against St. Louis.
Yeah, you might have to get your clinching gear ready for Saturday.
It's in the closet hanging and defunctifying from last week.
Can you describe exactly what it is? I get a kick out of your clinch gear.
Oh, it's like it's navy blue. 8 years old. When I was 20 pounds heavier pants that don't really fit in a flattering way.
Yeah.
Like a 10-year-old curly W red polo with a pullover that I think I got holiday celebrity golf tournament
All right.
7 or
Hicks
8
probably
years
got
ago
that.
with a hood on it.
Yeah.
And it's you may have seen this. I mean, I think there've been some pictures out there when I've been in the clubhouse. It's a kind of an aqua blue, fluorescent type color, and then I have goggles with an orange tint to them. So look, nothing matches, nothing fits. But you know what? I'll wear it. I'll wear it proudly on Saturday if the opportunity
Yeah, you
arises.
said you just don't care about it.